It's time for the return of Formula One and the Dutch Grand Prix. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, Jamie Chambers here on Track GP. We're back, F1 is back, and we are at the iconic Zandvoort circuit for the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix. This historic track returned to the calendar in 2021 after a 36-year absence, and the changes made to the circuit have really livened up the racing. Last year, we saw another dominant display from home hero Max Verstappen, who took the victory in front of his adoring home fans. But with the competition closing in, can he make it 4 wins in a row at Zandvoort? Let's take a look at what to expect this weekend. Up first, let's do a quick track overview. The Zandvoort circuit is a short, technically challenged track that winds its way through the Dutch countryside. At just 4.259 kilometres long, it features 16 corners, many of which are medium to high speed. The circuit poses a unique set of challenges for the teams. With limited straight line sections, they'll need to run high downforce levels to maximise performance through the twisty parts. But they'll also have to be wary of the bumpy nature of the track, which can be tough on the tyres. The conditions can also be tricky, with the circuit's coastal location often bringing in changeable weather. Last year we saw heavy rain interrupt the race, leading to a chaotic afternoon with a record 188 on-track overtakes. The lap record currently stands at 1:11.097, set by Max Verstappen in 2021 on his way to victory. But with the cars continuing to develop, I expect we could see that mark beaten this weekend if we get a dry qualifying session. Fingers crossed. Today's high is forecast to be 22 degrees Celsius, dropping to 21 on Saturday and only 19 on Sunday. Pirelli, F1's tyre supplier, say even without the rain and the ambient temperature, they could have a cool temperature forecast for the entire weekend. As such, the teams and drivers will have the choice of Pirelli's 3 hardest compounds, C1, C2, C3, for the Dutch weekend, along with the intermediate and full wet tyres. Speaking of weather, let's look back at last year's Dutch Grand Prix. It was another dominant display from the home favourite Max Verstappen, who led from start to finish to take victory. Verstappen got a brilliant start off from pole position, instantly pulling away from the rest of the field, but it was a chaotic opening lap behind, with drivers jostling for position and several cars pitting early for intermediate tyres as the light rain picked up. Those who stayed out on the softs initially struggled for pace, allowing Verstappen to build up a comfortable lead, but as the rain intensified, the drivers on intermediates started to rapidly close in on the leaders. A series of pit stops followed as the teams reacted to the changing conditions. There were a few dramatic moments too, including a heavy crash for Logan Sargent and a scary incident for Zhou Guanyu. But through it all, Verstappen remained calm and composed, expertly managing the changing weather to take the checkered flag. Sergio Perez finished second, but was denied a podium finish due to a time penalty. Instead, it was Alpine's Pierre Gasly who rounded out the top 3, delivering a stellar drive to clinch his first podium of that season. Looking back to this year, and the season has evolved into an intense battle between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. After a dominant start by Verstappen, who won 5 of the first 7 races, the competition has tightened significantly since the Miami Grand Prix. This shift in momentum has injected new excitement into the championship. McLaren's resurgence and Mercedes' improvements have made it harder for Verstappen to maintain his early season dominance. Despite this, Verstappen has managed to maximise his opportunities, while Norris and McLaren have struggled to fully capitalise on their improved performance. This difference in execution has been a key factor in maintaining Verstappen's hold on the championship lead. Let's look at the numbers. In the first 7 races, Verstappen scored 161 points to Norris's 101. In the next 7 races, Verstappen took 116 points, while Norris scored 98. After 14 races, Verstappen had 9 podiums, 7 wins and 277 points, while Norris had 8 podiums, just 1 win and 199 points. A key point here is Verstappen's consistency and ability to score heavily even when not winning, which will be crucial in this year's championship battle. Norris has had some costly errors, particularly at the start of races. He's lost the most positions on the opening lap among drivers in the top 4 teams, dropping a total of 26 positions after lap 1 this season. In contrast, his teammate Oscar Piastri has gained 6 positions and Verstappen has gained 5. This disparity in race starts has been a significant handicap for Norris in this title challenge. Notable mistakes by Norris came at the Spanish and Hungarian Grand Prix, where he had opportunities to lead from turn 1 but failed to capitalise. These errors have been particularly costly given McLaren's competitive pace at these events. Verstappen has also made mistakes under pressure, particularly in Austria and Hungary, but these have been less frequent and less costly, demonstrating his ability to manage high-pressure situations better than Norris. Looking ahead to the second half of the season, the upcoming circuits are generally faster, which could favour Red Bull. However, McLaren currently has the strongest car and is tipped to maintain this advantage unless one of the other top teams introduces a radical upgrade. This should set the stage for an intriguing development race between the teams. The championship gap between Verstappen and Norris now stands at 78 points with 10 races remaining. For Norris to overtake Verstappen, he would need to cut over 7.8 points per race, a tall order given Verstappen's consistency. Even if Norris wins all the remaining races, Verstappen could secure the title by finishing second in each race. However, a win for Norris here could change the dynamic of both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. McLaren is also in a strong position to further reduce Red Bull's 42-point lead in the Constructors' standings, adding another layer of intrigue to this year's team battle. While Norris faces an uphill battle for the Drivers' title, this season has been his strongest in F1 to date. The experience gained and lessons learned from his mistakes could prove valuable for the 2025 season when the competition is expected to be even tighter. His ability to learn from these experiences and improve his racecraft, particularly in starting procedures and high-pressure situations, will be crucial for his title aspirations in the future. It is worth noting that the battle extends beyond Verstappen and Norris. Other drivers like Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and George Russell have shown flashes of brilliance and could play spoiler roles in the remaining races, potentially taking points away from the top two and influencing the championship outcome. So while Verstappen remains the favourite for the Drivers' title, the battle between Red Bull and McLaren for the Constructors' Championship promises to be intense right up until the final race of the season. The remaining races will not only determine the 2024 championship, but will also set the stage for team and driver dynamics heading into the 2025 season. Fans can look forward to a thrilling conclusion to what has already been an unpredictable and exciting F1 season. With that in mind, what can we expect from this year's Dutch Grand Prix? Here are my predictions for this year's race. If history is anything to go by, Max Verstappen will certainly be the man to beat. The reigning world champion has been utterly dominant on home soil, winning the last 3 races at Zandvoort. And with at least Max's Red Bull still strong this season, we can expect Verstappen to be on pole position and battling for the win come Sunday. However, his rivals are closing in. Mercedes have found some real pace in recent races, with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton both securing victories. And obviously there is no counting out the McLaren duo, as they've been, albeit problematically, a revelation this year and will be eager to take the fight to Verstappen. Ferrari, on the other hand, seem to be struggling a bit at the moment, and Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz will be hoping for a better performance this weekend, but I think that they may have to settle for being the best of the rest ahead of the midfield. One driver I'm really excited to watch is Haas's Nico Hülkenberg. He's been in great form lately, and the Zandvoort circuit should suit his characteristics and the Haas car. I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually break into the top 10. Here's wishing. And for the rest of the grid, keep an eye on the battle for the final points-paying positions. Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll will be hoping for a solid result, while the Alpine pair will be eager to make an impression. And of course, we can't forget about the weather factor. As we saw last year, the Dutch coast can throw up some unpredictable conditions, which could lead to a more chaotic race. If it does rain, I expect to see plenty of drama and excitement as the teams try to make the right strategic calls. So my predictions for this weekend are as follows. Pole position will go to Max Verstappen, although it will be very close with him and Lando Norris. After that, the win will also go to Max Verstappen, and then that will be followed by Oscar Piastri, as I think that he has had the number of Lando Norris throughout this season so far. Third place is going to be a toss-up between George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to go with Lewis Hamilton, so that'll be Verstappen, followed by Piastri, followed by Hamilton, followed by Norris, and then best of the rest. Here's hoping Sergio Perez can pick up some points this weekend too. There you have it, my thoughts on the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort is always a much-watch event, and I am expecting another thrilling race weekend. Can Max Verstappen make it 4 wins in a row at his home circuit, or will one of his rivals finally be able to topple the Dutch superstar? It's going to be an unmissable event, that is for sure. Make sure you tune in to On Track GP for all the latest updates and analysis throughout the weekend, and let me know your predictions in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Jamie Chambers. Keep the pedal to the metal, and I'll catch you in the next video.